Hi, my name's Adrian Stapleton and I work for the Community Change Foundation. I came about working for CCF after I used to work in the council for 7 years and the project there came to an end. So a couple of friends had already started up this business and it was just a natural progression. They asked me to come and join the team.
Great. How did you end up in this sector?
I became involved in this sector about 17 years ago now. I first worked for a company that was connected to the big life company called DASH, which stands for Drug Advice and Support in You.
And what inspires you to do what you do at CCF?
The thing that inspires me to do what I do at CCF really is, it's about giving something back to my local community. I look and I see lots of young people and old people, sometimes find it hard to make the way through life's difficulties, and hopefully with a bit of help I can move forward in a positive manner.
What type of people have you and do you work with now?
We work with a range of people, both young and old. We have projects in local schools, we have projects working with the local youth offending team and the local probation office. We also do bits of training and other work with other professionals.
What do you think? Do you think young BME males are naturally enterprising?
Yeah, young BME males are naturally enterprising. I've seen a lot of young people who have found a way into making themselves into good business prospects. And I've seen young people who have worked within schools have come out and have left and have started up their own businesses and they've moved forward. But sometimes they just need a bit of a chance, really, a bit of a helping hand.
What kind of aspirations do these young males have?
I think they have aspirations like any other young male, really, or any other person. Everybody wants to move forward. They'd like to have a successful job, successful career, successful home life. All the things that society tells us we should have.
And what opportunities are already available for these men in Manchester?
Opportunities in Manchester. The opportunities in Manchester, they're like anywhere else really. They've got there's projects out there to help people move forward. There's the labour market where everybody can make a chance, try and get a foothold in that. And then there's companies like us who are there to assist people to move forward, possibly help give them bits of training, help give them boost their confidence and their self-esteem so that they can move forward and not feel like they're less than others, which sometimes some of the young men that we do work with actually say they feel that.
So what would you say is the situation now in Manchester with these young men, for them to look forward?
I think looking forward is quite good. Historically we have a history of quite violent times in the Manchester area, especially in the Moss Side area where we do a lot of the work in South Manchester. We've had our trouble with gangs and guns and death, but at the minute there's no trouble with gangs at the minute. Gangs are quite non-existent at the minute, and this gives young men who are possibly on the cusp of probably joining some of these gangs, it gives them more chance to take a look at themselves and maybe choose another path, move forward, reach some of the ambitions that they had when they was younger. That might have been probably driven out of them through circumstance.
So just touching on what you've said then, how has it actually changed in the last few years from what it used to be like, say, 6 years ago? What has been put in place to change that?
I think things that have been put in place to help change the situation in this area. The police did a lot of work. They did their operations. They locked up some of the offenders for a long time, got them some big sentences. I think that helped to put the fear into some of the young men, but also a lot of the community work that's been done. You'd be amazed by the amount of different projects and different people who are out there trying to help guide young people, especially young BME males, trying to help guide them to more positive activities. And a lot of young men now are now moving forward into college and university, and maybe 6 years ago there wasn't that many young people, or young BME males who were thinking about college and university. University was probably an alien concept to them, looking at thinking that's never going to be for us because they don't know people who have been before. So
great. How have the people that you have mentored benefited from training?
I think the people who I have mentored have benefited from training because they've been upskilled. They've learnt new skills that they didn't have before. It's helped to increase their self-confidence. It's helped to increase their self-awareness. It just makes them feel, a lot of them come out feeling a lot better about themselves.
Yeah, great. So how do you think the Parallel Roads programme will help?
I feel the Parallel Roads programme will be a good programme for young BME males within our area. It's going to help focus on those who have a natural, how would I put it, the natural enterprising, and at times, there's nobody out there that can help guide them in the right directions of, what it is they might need to do, opening a business account, where they're going to go to maybe get some premises, and all the aspects that, some of these young guys, they're walking around from, because they don't know that, and that means they won't try to then start some of the business ideas that they have.
So how will CCF be involved in the Parallel Roads programme?
CCF will be involved in the Parallel Roads programme we'll be providing one-to-one mentoring for those who are coming onto the programme. Yeah. Hopefully we can be a good guide, help to boost the confidence, help boost self-esteem, and work closely alongside those who are running the Parallel Roads so that we can get the help. The young people get the best out of themselves, really. See their own potential.
So what skills do these men already have from various other businesses that they can apply to this programme?
The skills that these young men have are quite varied. They'll have good money management, they'll have good negotiation skills, they will have good knowledge of their target market, have good knowledge of their local area, and I think putting all these things together, it should help when they move forward with trying to start their own business.
Yeah. And why is it so important to give these men an opportunity to develop those skills?
I think it's important for to give these young men an opportunity to develop the skills so that they feel worthwhile. Sometimes it's hard growing up as a young black male, and you hear so many mixed messages. Sometimes the messages aren't always that good, and they start to feel down about themselves, probably think that they'll never make it. Just like before when I was talking about those young males who are now, a lot more are now going to university, seeing it as a place where they can be or where they should be. Yeah, but it would be good for the young black males in our area to see that we can start our own businesses, we can support our own community. And I think that would be one of the biggest things that they'll get out of this.
So from your experience, what are these young men doing for the money at the minute without the training?
Well, I don't know. There'll be some who are on benefits, there'll be some who are in college, there'll be some who probably committing acts of crime, to help see themselves through. Some people will do literally anything to get money if they haven't got anything. And society tells us that you need money. Everything you've got to pay for everything these days. If it don't come free. So they'll be quite enterprising in ways and means of getting money.
Cool. Just finally, do you have any stories yourself of young males making a positive change?
I think over the time I've been doing this type of work, I have a couple of stories of people who have made positive change. One in particular, I worked with this man for, on and off, I've worked with him over 7 years really. I met him when he was about 14 and I met him through the youth offending service. His favourite word was, I'm not going to say this on camera, macca. So that was his favourite word. He said everything was rubbish to him. Yeah? School was rubbish, going to his appointments was rubbish. But I think over the time of us working together, he began to form a bond. He trusted what I had to say, and eventually we got him into college. And it started off where he didn't really want to stay. He'd be out the doors as soon as the bell went for the end of college. He was out, and slowly but surely he was in there. An hour later, 2 hours later, and then he moved on from there. He got himself on a plumbing course. Got himself a plumbing apprenticeship. He did that for 3 years, and then he moved on to, he's now working for a car dealership, which to me that's a really giant leap from the space where I first met him. He's moved forward really well, and he's an inspiration to others because his friends look at him and think, you know what, I want some of what he's got. And I always say it's a each one teach one. Our friends, we don't like to get left behind. So everybody wants to try and catch up.
Do you know when you're mentoring them, what approach do you take to them to build the trust? Building trust is about being truthful. That's how you build trust. You can't build trust any other way. It's not. I don't think there's no magic wand that you can wave over a relationship and say that it's going to work. Because I've been in relationships where it hasn't worked. And I've been in relationships where it's not worked at the beginning, but because I've been truthful all the way through, people get to see that you're truthful. And when you're truthful, people begin to trust you because they see that you've got their best interests at heart and not your own interests, which sometimes that's what some people have. Some people put their own interests first before the person that they're working with. Why do you think that businesses of Manchester and your home should support parallel roads?
I think businesses in Manchester as a whole should support parallel roads because it's a really good idea. It's a good way of mobilising the communities in our area. I think parallel roads should be something that should be rolled out in every area because we've got entrepreneurial young men in every area, and it's not just BME males, it's all males. It's hard for everybody out there at the minute.